Hey everyone, my name is Braden Chase and welcome to Easy Funnel System. I am very excited to be with you guys here tonight, and I wanted to talk about telling your story. Now, most of you on here that are watching this are course creators. You're online teachers, you teach at a university, you do something of that nature. You're an instructor. And for the most part, you're experts in your field. You know, you understand, you practice, you know what's going on with these things. And that's awesome, right? You are amazing. But one of the problems that we run into, right, when we're so good at what we do, right, with our training, right, and our teaching and stuff, we try and put our subject or our course out there and say, hey, this thing is so awesome, people are just going to buy it, and it'll be great. If you've actually gone through that process, you know that doesn't really work very well. There are lots of really good products and courses and books and stuff like that are out there that no one actually reads or uses or buys. But why, right? And one of the keys to this, and maybe the most important key, is something that I and other people in marketing, we call it the story, particularly your story. Since you're the teacher, you're the course creator, this is what you're building. And that story is what brings people in. It's what helps people understand you, not just your course. Because when people are looking around, they're looking at a course. Oh, there's a course on business, there's a course on reading, there's a course on writing, there's a course on, I don't know, how to make baskets, something, whatever. There's courses everywhere. What they're looking for is just the information, right? And if all they want is that information, if all they see is just a bunch of information, the only thing that matters is price. And the price falls apart, and everyone's quickly fighting to get to zero. And pretty much your course, very quickly, your course that was so brilliant becomes free, and you don't make any money, you don't make any new courses, you don't help any students because you're not going to make any new courses, and things go wrong. But the way, one very powerful technique in helping to bring people into your world is to share your story, to share why you did this, and to be a real human being. We live in a world right now, especially in the United States, but in general in developed countries around the world, in England and Canada and Australia and France and the rest of the developed world, Japan, where we're surrounded by digital everywhere. We're surrounded by phones, we're surrounded by internet and Facebook, right? Here we are on Facebook. And all of these wonderful things that are fantastic. Hi, right? That's what I'm using, these devices. But they're not real people, right? I'm here and I'm talking to you guys, but we can't shake hands because there's a screen here, right? It doesn't work. But because of this digital nature that we have, we are kind of cut off from each other and separated from each other. So if you're able to come out and share and talk and be alive and talk and bring people into your world, then they will like you. And because they like you, they'll like your course too, because you made cool stuff for them. You made a connection with them. You made them feel happy. And the way that you bring people in is through a story, particularly your story. So, and there's lots of different stories that you can share. I don't want to go into all of that, but one very easy way is to tell your origin stories. Why did you start doing this in the first place? So, hey, I'm a I don't know, mathematic teacher. I teach math. Math is great. Why did you start teaching math? You know, oh, well, I started teaching math because it was fun. No, that's not an origin story, right? So you find the specific reason. Try and think of a really specific event. When I was 10 years old, or no, I don't know, something. When I was 15 years old, I was in school and I was working really hard and math was really fun. I was doing some cool stuff, and then I was sitting I'm making this up as I go. I was sitting in the audience at a big assembly, and all of a sudden they called my name and they gave me this math award because I was, had the highest math score in the school or something like that. And you're like, whoa, this is so cool. I didn't know that, right? That experience makes you go, whoa, this is cool and fun. And people can identify with that because stuff like that really happens in life. Okay, and they'll go, oh, hey, I remember that happened to me too. That's why I like math. Please teach me math. And it makes sense. And I remember this really hit true to me a long time ago, actually, with a book called Getting Things Done from a man named David Allen. And in that story, in the book, it's not a story, it's like a manual, it's very dense. But in that book, he tells little bits of his story and how he ran into a particular situation. And one in particular that I still remember was how he learned that he needed to review things, right? So he's teaching about productivity and being organized and stuff. And he's like, you always need to review your things. You got to make your list and you got to look at your list. This is so important. But then he told the story. He said, I remember when I was young, I went to get a job and I got a job at a gas station. I was the manager of the gas station. Woohoo, right? And so he's managing the gas station, and the owner of that particular franchise or whatever of the gas station came in and said, David, every day I want you to just push papers around. Just move things around, look at all the stuff, and push the papers around. And he's like, okay, this is my boss. My boss is telling me to do this stuff. So he went in, and every day he would come in and just open up the folders and look what's in there and move things around. And okay, where's this? I'll move that over there. Push papers around. And he said, by doing that, I was always aware of everything that was going on. And this was the birthplace to his teaching method, right? About being organized and keeping track and making lists and constantly being aware of what's going on. This little experience in his life of pushing papers around. So that was his story that he shared. And that, I still remember it. I read that story, 12 years ago when I read that the first time. And I still remember that story. And if you can find an origin story for your course, for your product, for your business, for your service, whatever it is that you do, you find that origin story for you, people go, oh, hey, and they remember. And they remember you. And they remember your product. And they remember, hey, that made a lot of sense to me. I like this. And you have, you have a relationship with them. And you can help them now because you've made a real connection. And the easiest, fastest, best way to do that is through that story. Okay? And it's just such a powerful tool in your marketing for your course. Create your story. Think about it. What is my story? Why do I love this so much? Tomorrow I'm going to talk about something called technobabble, which is a bad thing, but we'll get there in a minute. It's related to the story thing. But think on that, right? What is your origin story? Why did you start in this in the first place? Okay? Anyway, thank you guys very much. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Remember your origin story, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Bye.